Pleasure having you on your side of the radio. It's time for us to talk some more and push the conversation for development a notch higher. I hope you've learned a thing or two, concerning or relating to our previous conversation. And maybe I should do a recap. And I know there is open season coming up, but maybe I should do a quick recap. One, it is your right when you're arrested to be told why you've been arrested. Two, you also should have access to your lawyer and your family members immediately. Three, police should not be arresting you, and you should not be asking the police to arrest anybody for civil matters. So you need to read up what is a civil matter and what is a criminal offense. And what's number four? Number four, whenever you have police operating illegally, you have the right, to approach. You have the right to approach the court, to be able to help secure your human rights, because it's your right. It's your right to freedom. It's your right to freedom as long as you're not a criminal, as long as you've not committed criminal activity or criminal act, so to say. All right, so that's like a quick recap. What else again? And stop. Asking the police to go recover money for you, and that's not their work. And if any of the Department of Police currently is listening, please your officers who are threatening my one of my guests earlier, Justice Oladele, please tell them to stop, because it is not putting the police in the good light, I should say. But let's not quickly get to the conversation we're having for this hour. 9 minutes gone past the hour of 5, and I want to talk about the refineries yet again. And this time, I want to focus on the Port Harcourt refinery. Like JJ said some time ago, he called in last week when we were talking about the refinery. He said we should do a countdown, and this is more like a countdown to the deadline that the federal government and the NNPCL gave concerning when completion of rehabilitation will happen. However, there is a little bit of an issue I should report, I think. And you and I will be talking about this. I won't be talking for much. So last week I did tell you that the MD of the refineries, is it the Port Harcourt refinery now? I think so. Came out and said, 98% of procurement has been done. He also said that rehabilitation process or work process is about 70-85% complete. So it is achievable to reach the December ending of December deadline, and that by January 2024, refinery or the old Port Harcourt refinery will be working. And I remember I raised my concerns, and I wondered why we went for the 60,000 barrels per day capacity, and we tried to do the mathematics on the show, which once again revealed my inability to do good maths, right? But anyways, we did a calculation and we tried to convert barrels to liters, and how much we're going to get and how many liters we're going to use. We did all of that mathematics, and we somewhat agree that if it does happen, that no matter how tiny comes out from the Port Harcourt refinery, it will go a long way to reduce the price of petrol in Nigeria, or maybe more in River State. However, a one-time MD of both Port Harcourt refinery and Kaduna refinery, and once upon a time too, an ED, I think that stands for Executive Director of NNPC when it was not yet limited, has come out to say it is not feasible. It is not feasible. And I am talking about Alex. Just give me a minute. I wrote his name down somewhere, so I need to cross-check to make sure that I'm calling the right name. Where is it now? All right, so his name is Alex Ogedengbe. Yes, Alex Ogedengbe. And let's take a listen to what he had to say.
5-10 years ago, if I was told,
that's not the first one.
As I indicated once or twice, in 1991, we were completely dependent on a local. There was no import at all of all these products. The three refineries, Warri, Port Harcourt, and Kaduna, were working fairly close to 70-80% throughput. Unfortunately, all those refineries are shut down now. I don't want to go into that. But let's go to Port Harcourt Refinery, on the question you raised. Yes, Port Harcourt Refinery operated at 100% in December 1992. I was MD. With
a refining capacity of?
150,000 barrels per day. I recall that because my chairman at the time, Chief Fayde, had called me and said, I hear that you are running the refinery at 100%. I said, yeah, we can go 110. Oh. I mean, that's the design is 100%, but you can push it if you need to. And we were doing that at that time because we were planning for a turnaround maintenance. So we had to store PMS petrol to last us 30 days, planned for turnaround. So I was running the refinery at 100%, and we had 50 million liters of PMS in storage, which we distributed for the whole month. Nobody knew we were shut down. But that was Port Harcourt Refinery.
Now, I should mention that what he was talking about there when he mentioned Port Harcourt Refinery, by the way, he was on a TV program on Channels TV this morning. You know, what he was talking about was actually the combination of both the old and new Port Harcourt refineries. Yeah? So both of them brings about the capacity of it 210,000 barrels per day. The old is 60,000. The new is 151 thereabout thousand barrels per day capacity. So he went on to say that why he's afraid that it might not work by the end of December is because the old refinery is indeed old. It was done about 58 years ago. And that refinery has not been working for 30 years thereabout. And the reason why it's not been working for 30 years, or one of the reasons, is because it has the obsolete infrastructure. He also revealed that one of the things that NNPCL is currently doing to that old refinery is restructuring. Is that the word? Recalibrating, something like that. So they are recalibrating because the technology used for the Port Harcourt old refinery cannot necessarily give us what we need, because some of the items like lead used to make the kind of fuel that the old Port Harcourt refinery should. So in theory that the refinery is to be fixed by December, they will still have to test run it. They'll still have to do other things, and it will take a couple of months to get it done. But let it not be my words. Let's take a listen.
That we had a plan, a proper plan to get those refineries from zero, which they are now, to 100%, I would believe it. But if you see the depth of damage that has happened, especially the refineries, none of them has worked for 5 years, since 2017-18. Now, the Port Harcourt, let's come back to, so the issue is not, can it be done? There are many issues there. Who is going to do it? How much is it going to cost? There's a benefit cost analysis. So all of these issues come in. Theoretically, it can be done, just like what you are going to be seeing in Port Harcourt Refinery now. So I don't know if that answers your question. It can be done theoretically, but is it feasible commercially and everything else? Port Harcourt Refinery, the last time I was there was 2012 when I was on the NNPC federal government committee. At that time, the refinery was operating about 50%, and it was barely operating. The old Port Harcourt Refinery has not operated for 40 years, at least since 1990. 30 years. The old refinery, the 60,000 barrels, the one was built 60 years ago. No, it was built in 1965, okay? 30 years since 1990, when the new refinery came on. So, it's been shut down. Let me go back one stage. When the new refinery was designed, I was project manager throughout, from 85 to 90. We had accommodated the old refinery in the design of the new one. We linked them. we took what we could use in the old refinery, the 60,000 barrels per day, to feed into the new one. The new one is a more complex. How is it more complex? If you put 1 barrel of crude oil into the new one, 50% of it will be petrol, PMS. The old refinery, if you put 1 barrel of crude oil into it, you only get maximum 24% of petrol. Shows the complexity. The old refinery has just 1 conversion unit that can produce petrol. The new refinery had 4 different conversion units.
That's this one.
Yet again, he was trying to point out that the old refinery has got its limitations. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a chemical engineer, but I do have a fair knowledge of what he's saying. So, the new Port Harcourt refinery, which I mentioned, has about 150,000 barrels per day capacity, has got 4 units of conversion, which can, maybe convert different components of crude. There are different products you can get from crude oil. When you get those products, there's some of them that you can still convert to crude to petrol. For instance, naphtha, you can convert that to petrol. He also explained all of that. But the old Port Harcourt refinery, which he said has not worked since 1990, over 30 years, has got 33 now. Yeah, has got just 1 conversion unit. And so it has a limitation, and it will be very difficult to convert petrol to meet the needs of Nigeria. He also talked about modular refineries and said, see, a lot of the people who set up modular refineries set it up for selfish purposes. And they didn't set it up, to be able to meet the demands and the needs of Nigerians. This did set up so that they could make profit by selling diesel and kerosene at very low amounts and selling naphtha, which is a very good component needed in Europe, for PMS. You need that component to be able to get gas or petrol, as it is fondly called. So I want to get your thoughts. I mean, there are other things he said. I don't know if I have time to play it. There's a commercial break coming up, so maybe I just quickly run through some other things he said. Let's take a listen to this one.
Our visit was cancelled. Could not. I cannot tell you for sure. I can only talk on the basis of what I've seen. What they are doing there now, let me predict. If what I hear from that short 9-minute release by the MD of the refinery, at best they will have some kind of mechanical completion by the end of December, because he said they are 75% done overall, but 98% done on procurement and some other issues. But by the end of December, at best, they will have mechanical completion. Then they will do testing of each equipment and systems. You test one equipment, you see how it fits with another one, then you put everything together as a system. The system test may take, anything for 2 weeks to 1 month before you can start. In my opinion, based on what is seen, I have not been there. I don't think it can be done more within 2 or 3 months. Now, what you will get there again is like the old refinery of 60 years ago with just new equipment. The capacity is still 60,000 barrels per day. It will produce less than 30% of the new refinery in Port Harcourt. Scenario. I give you the example. The old refinery that is being repaired now cannot produce more than 25% maximum on crude oil. In other words, 1 barrel of crude will produce maximum.
All right. So you had him. Not my words. I would like to talk with you. This is a new angle to our conversation about the refinery. I'm always hopeful. And I always will tell you that what if the refinery works? But I mean, listening to a one-time MD, managing director, I believe that's what it stands for, of the Port Harcourt refinery, at another time former MD of the Kaduna refinery, coming out to say, hey. It's not feasible. And he also did say that he and other past MDs, and about 3 of them offered their services to the NNPCL to ensure that these refineries work, and so that they can put their inputs, the experience from when the refineries were working and working well and perfectly, optimally. But, they've not been allowed access. They've not been allowed access to the refineries. He also said, we don't want to hear from the politicians. We want to hear from the contractors, because he also said that he does not understand why the old Port Harcourt refinery was chosen for repairs, but then he believes it is for political gains, because a lot of the presidents who have come in, Buhari and now Tinubu, believe that Dangote's refinery will help reduce the burden that we have when we talk petrol in Nigeria. So they just wanted to make a political statement. I don't know if you agree with that one, but I'll get your thoughts shortly. He also said, am I forgetting anything? He also said that he just believes it's not feasible because the main contractors, the main people who build the refineries, decided to opt out from rehabilitation because they felt also that it was not possible, it was not feasible, that you do not change the structure of a refinery, you build new ones. And so the restructuring is also pointed to the fact that these might not work. When we come back, I'll play one more soundbite, and then you and I will talk out on the phone line. So please do stay tuned, I beg of you. We'll be right back after the commercial break. my log is wow. That's all I can say. Wow. But welcome back to Hard Facts, the 92.3 Nigeria Info. We're looking at the Port Harcourt Refinery and the possibility of it working by the end of December 2023. January 2024, it is said that it would start operations, but a former MD of the Port Harcourt Refinery saying it may not be feasible, it may not be possible. And I did play the sound bites. I do not have enough time to play some more sound bites, but I like to get your thoughts quickly, as fast as I can. I'll take as many calls. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Now, a lot of money has been put into the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt Refinery, and I'm wondering why, the government will focus on the old Port Harcourt Refinery that has not worked since 1990, according, to the MD or former MD. It has not worked since 1990. That's about 33 years, and my goodness me, why would the government pump in so much money into that? Secondly, the old Port Harcourt Refinery has got a lot of limitations, talking about specifications, talking about you had the soundbite. I'm going to go to the phone lines. Robin is calling from HA. Robin, greetings, welcome. What is on your mind? I hear we have problems with WhatsApp, so we just focus on calls. Hello, what is on your mind? Please tell me.
Yes, thank you, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
From the day the federal government announced that the refinery will be ready by December, I have been very, very pessimistic and never believed them. From when that announcement was made, Canada, have you had any day the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, who made that promise, visited the Port Harcourt refinery? The answer is no. So I do not believe at all. Now, look at the manner with which they go about the road. Where are they going to do the haulage?
All right.
The truck is going to take place through where? That is on one side. Then the former MD, to an extent, I do not believe in, because it's not informed of the present reality of that place. Because he told us he visited there and back since 2012.
But he said he watched a video clip, of the rehabilitation made by the.
That is video clip.
Okay.
It has not been there.
All right.
Let the federal government, the president or vice president,
but
let them go there, fly to that place the way they are.
But they have had ministers go there. I mean, the ministers have gone there, and the ministers have, we've seen it, and we believe that by January 2024. Wait, Robin, the president is not an engineer, right? So even if the president goes there, whatever he's told is what he will still take. So what's the difference? That's where I'm coming from.
The difference is huge. When you are the owner of a site, the house built there by your engineer is your own. When you get to that site, workers will sit up. That is the difference.
All right then.
So the president should go there and talk to us.
All right then.
These are outside talk.
All right.
I don't believe.
Robin, thank you very much. Moving on. Victor from Mile 3. Welcome, Victor. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you. Welcome.
You are the one on my mind, Canada.
I'm the one on your mind. What have I done?
Exactly.
What have I done? What have I done, Victor? Tell me quickly, please. Let's hear you.
Canada. I know the number of times I used to call on this particular on your show concerning how, and I used to tell you that I'm the most pessimistic person concerning the workability of our refinery. And you used to say, what if it works?
Yeah, what if? I still have my what if in my pockets. What if?
You used to ask me that. You used to ask me and another person that same question. What if?
Yeah.
Canada, are you seeing it now?
But what if it works? I mean, I'm still asking. What if it works? Don't blame me.
It's not going to work like that. If it works, I will walk my head around.
No, let's not do that. This is a developmental conversation, not a street conversation. But then again, Victor, listen. Now we've heard people from NLC. We've had people from what I can't remember the Petroleum Association now, but an affiliation of NLC still come out to say, they have visited the refinery, and they are very sure that it will work. We've seen the minister, we've seen NNPCL, we've seen several people come out to say it will work. This is just one person of
I will call you back on the 1st of January or February. If definitely, by grace of God, you'll be around. And I'll ask you for today.
All right.
See, let me say something before we go.
Yeah.
The Nigerian states that have come to understand is as if what the previous governor told us, that as they pay us, it is sweet them.
Okay.
And as it is sweet them, it is pay us.
Okay.
That is as if it's an
All right.
written constitution for them.
All right.
If any parameter that they repair the refinery, it will suit the Nigerian citizens.
Okay.
And
Victor.
if it suits Nigerian citizens, it will pain them.
All right,
That
Victor.
is why they can never do it.
I've got to go now. Thank you very much for your time. I've got Sunday from Okrika. Oh my, I missed that one. But I've got Chief Ochuariri. Chief, welcome. What's on your mind?
Thank you. The minister just make sure that this refinery is going to work by December. Hopefully, it's going to work, but they take the place. Though the materials there, the machines there, they've all gone out of use. But then they are putting them in order. A lot of money has been pumped here, and definitely it's going to work by that December, according to the Lugo Bill. That's the Minister for Petroleum.
All right.
That's the assurance he gave us. And if you should get there today, Canada, if you should get there, you see that a lot of money, materials, new ones, replacing the old ones, because the other ones there are gone money bond, and they were all spoiled. And now they're pumping a lot of money. So that government has spent a lot of money there. It's going to work. Anybody who says it's not going to work, the person should read there and see what.
But this former MD is a petrochemical engineer, or is it a chemical engineer they call it? And he's saying that being a former MD, he knows the place very well, and he's saying it's not going to work. It's not feasible. At least not by January. He said. At least not by January.
The thing is that they're not carrying him along. They're not carrying him along.
Okay.
They're not carrying him along. If they're carrying him along, he would agree with them, but they're not carrying him along. The former MD, nobody's carrying him along.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much, Chief. I've got to go. There's another commercial coming. I'm really sorry about that. But open season, I promise. I'm looking at my log right now. Open season is going to be just you and I, and so we will talk some more and we'll talk extensively. Please do stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. And you've been listening to Hard Facts with yours truly, Kalada Kurubato. I'll be right back. But first, this commercial break, and after that, the news at 6, and then we'll talk some more. Just stay tuned.